Hi, everyone. This is Maheen, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Today, we are stepping into a new era of mobile intelligence. In 2026, the smartphone has evolved from a passive tool into a proactive partner powered by what we call Agentic AI. And joining us to discuss this very important topic is Paul Edwards, VP and GM of Enterprise Mobility at Samsung Electronics Canada. Paul is a leader at the forefront of mobile innovation, helping Canadian businesses leverage the Samsung ecosystem to work smarter and stay secure. Today, he's here to show us how the new Galaxy S26 Ultra and Galaxy Book 6 Enterprise Edition are redefining productivity for the modern professional. So, without a further ado, let's dive in and welcome Paul. Paul, it's a pleasure having you on the show with us. Thank you for joining. How are you?
I'm great. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for your time and looking forward to digging into the topic.
Absolutely. And what better ways could it be to just, kind of open our discussion by understanding the era of agentic AI. AI is no longer a buzzword, Paul, and especially for our audiences of SMBs. It's there and we want to provide them with as much resources, solutions and tools and information that is out there to help themselves scale. But we've heard a lot about AI features, but with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, as I mentioned in my intro as well, Samsung is moving towards something called agentic AI. Um, Please explain to us, how does agentic AI actively support business decision making and productivity beyond the basic features?
Sure. Well, I guess I'd start by saying, we've been a leader in AI over the mobile device space. We started with generative AI, which really would just simply identify objects, translate text. You could take a picture of a golf club or a hockey stick and say, "Who's the manufacturer? Where can I buy it?" Or my wife might say, "I love that purse that woman's using. Where can I buy that?" Which might turn into a little bit of a dangerous situation for me. But so in the beginning with generative AI, identifying data, identifying objects. Now we're moving into agentic AI, which really is the AI tools working together and anticipating the needs and taking action. So, one example that comes to mind is we work with a real estate broker very closely out of Burlington, and he'll often say he receives over 200 messages per day, which a lot of us do. Using one of our new AI apps called Now Nudge, this is an AI feature on the S26 Ultra, and it will prompt the user to take action if the message shows something like a deadline, for example. It'll anticipate that you need to take action, and there's something in that message that you need to respond to that day or the next day. Perhaps prompt you to put it in your calendar for a follow up, that sort of thing. So agentic really means the tools are working together and they're anticipating what might be the next move for the end user.
Right, right. Moving from a tool that you have to prompt to an assistant that anticipates your next business action is quite the game changer for efficiency. So thank you for walking us through that, Paul. Now let's explore how AI simplifies daily tasks for small business owners. Please tell us, how do the S26 Ultra's AI tools streamline daily tasks and improve workflow efficiency?
For SMEs, 9 times out of 10, you don't have an IT shop. 9 times out of 10, you don't have a scale of employee base, someone to do everything. You're wearing multiple hats. You're juggling multiple tasks in a day. I think I saw a stat a couple years back that 97% of all Canadian businesses are SMEs. That's a big number, and that's probably 2 years old now. It might have even grown from that point. So we're a country littered with SMEs, and I think they can use tools such as notification intelligence, which is new on the Samsung S26 Ultra. So AI can learn what's important to you based on your patterns. Everybody uses the device differently. Everybody looks at different notifications differently. and everybody has usage patterns that could be different throughout the day. But what notification intelligence does is it stack ranks the notifications due to importance to you. So it learns and it thinks through what's important. And something that comes to mind is you're on vacation. You're on vacation with your family or your significant other, and running an SMB, you're always off in the corner, maybe not present, maybe not engaged on the holiday, checking your email, checking what's happening in the business. The business never stops. So this is a tool that can stack rank what's important to you. So you're not sorting through hundreds of messages trying to stay on top of the business while you might be on vacation. Another short example might be we have a building maintenance company, a property management company, as a customer that's been a customer for many years. They've now switched to the S26 Ultra, and they're using something called Finder. So that Finder is a new application with Samsung and Galaxy AI that, with basically one word, can search and find anything on your device. So that in this particular case, this company has hundreds of technicians. They're on the road. They're in downtown Toronto mostly, working in the towers on HVAC systems or perhaps control systems. And they're always taking, junior technicians are always taking photos of different components and parts, sending them back to the head office or to senior technicians for help. And when you have to find something, let's say it's a compressor part, or again, a controller component, how do you find that when you have thousands of pictures saved on your device? So this Finder application is just making people more efficient, where you can put in one word compressor and up will come everything sorted that you need to do just to help you do your job better and more efficient.
Right, right. There's no doubt that automating those small unproductive minutes, it really adds up to hours of reclaim time that can be focused back on high level strategy. So this is very informative. Thank you so much, Paul, for that. Next up, let's look at securing data in an AI driven environment. Paul, how do Samsung Knox and privacy settings or features protect sensitive business data in an AI driven environment?
I'll tackle Knox first. So Samsung Knox is our marketing term we developed about 15 years ago. Knox is embedded right into the chipset of the device. And Knox is not just security. It is rated best in class security for mobile devices by Gartner for many years running. So the security element we is very important. We take it very, very seriously, but it's not just security that the Knox suite offers. So the Knox suite is really important to SMEs because we have Knox enrollment to make sure the devices are enrolled properly over the cloud. We have things like Knox Manager, which is an MDM. So the MDM can manage, if you had 3 users, you might not need an MDM, but if you have 25 users, 100 users, you're going to need an MDM to help with moves, adds, changes, to control and make sure those devices are secure. And even things like Knox customization. So we can customize the screen of a device. So if you walk into a small pizza shop, it can say Pepe's Pizza or whatever the logo is on the screen. So we can do things like that. But the Knox suite is more than just security, and I would urge SMEs to look it up on our website and check out what Knox suite is, because again, SMEs don't necessarily have IT departments. They don't necessarily have an IT manager. 9 times out of 10, it's the owner operator doing all these things themselves. So the Knox suite can really help out along the way. And one other new feature, since we're talking about the S26 Ultra, is privacy screen. So this has been received with rave reviews. And basically, Samsung has developed a new technology, never been done before. It's a setting within the device that basically, if I simplify, it changes the pixel setting so that no one can peek over your shoulder anymore. And I'm not sure if you've ever been on an airplane or anywhere where you feel the weight of someone looking at your device. So this is really helping out, and people are responding to it very well. We actually have a law firm, Ontario-based law firm, that has been a customer for a long time. They had a policy to not use your smartphone on a plane, public transportation, coffee shop. That was their company policy. So you can imagine how that restricted um, legal aids and lawyers when they're in a mobile type environment. Now with privacy screen, they don't have that issue. They're ranting and raving about how great it is. We also have wealth managers with all big banks using Samsung devices, and wealth managers are federally regulated. So if they're doing day trading for customers, wealth management activities, all that is, obviously, I wouldn't say top secret, but very confidential type information. So the privacy screen on our device is like I said, it's a first to market, never been done before, and we're getting rave reviews in terms of security.
This is amazing, quite exciting actually. And giving businesses the choice between on device and cloud processing, it provides a necessary layer of control that really builds true user confidence. And to all the business leaders that are watching in 2026, your device is your office, and security, it's something that can't be and can't be an afterthought. Samsung is here giving you AI, not only just AI, but they're giving you trusted AI with the Knox security platform that is anchored in both the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the Galaxy Book 6 Enterprise Edition. So if you want to see these tools in action, I believe Samsung is also hosting a dedicated webinar this month to walk you through specific tips and use cases. So please check the link in our description to register for the webinar and see how an AI first ecosystem can secure your future. Now, Paul, let's explore the power of a fully connected device ecosystem. He says, how does seamless connectivity between phone and laptop improve productivity across devices?
Good question. With the S26 and our new GB6 Galaxy Enterprise Edition laptops, we have different customers with different use cases. One is a Western Canadian utility, um, Hydro Commission, that is. Their supervisors are out collecting data in the field on their smartphone all day. And with Samsung interoperability between screens or screen sharing, when they're done the shift at the end of the day, they can come back to the office. They can pull other sources of information, talk to their colleagues about what they're seeing in the market, and then use the GB6 to continue that workflow. So whatever's on the screen in the field on the smartphone is now when they sit down at their desk on their PC. And whether they're using app mirroring or they can drag and drop files from device to device. So it's really helping the workflow. I would say another really popular and maybe best kept secret at Samsung is what we call DeX. So it's desktop experience on the device. So, for example, we have a forestry customer, a longtime forestry customer in Eastern Canada, and same sort of thing. The supervisors are going deep into the forest, into the woods, collecting data as logs are harvested. And what they do is they basically connect their smartphone in vehicle to a monitor, and that monitor takes on the image of a Windows desktop. So they can collect all their data. When they go back at the end of the shift into the office, they take that same smartphone, the S26, and they snap it into and connect to a monitor. And again, they've got that same look and feel, that Windows desktop look and feel to continue the reporting. So we're getting a lot of positive feedback on Samsung DeX, which again, best kept secret, desktop experience, where it really takes over I wouldn't call it laptop replacement, but it really replaces laptops in the field so that when you get back to your desk, you can continue your workflow.
Eliminating the friction between the devices, I'm sure it ensures that a great idea captured on the go can be executed immediately at your desk, which is very convenient. Finally, Paul, let's look at the future of mobile intelligence and AI. How will AI evolve for business users, and can non Galaxy users access these features today?
One Galaxy series users do have limited AI functionality, such as our mid-tier device, our A37, A57. They have things like circle search, which is a very popular AI feature, which I mentioned earlier, and AI select, so they can look at different items on their device and identify those items. But for the full AI lineup, users need to go to either our S series or our Z series. Our Z series are our flips and folds, and the S series are our flagship Galaxy handhelds. So I think the first part of the second part of the question is how will it evolve? It's moving very fast. I mean, AI, not just in the wireless segment, but everywhere, is moving extremely fast. So, in my opinion, it will continue to be a concierge, almost a personal concierge, to understand how you use your device, what's important to you, deliver the content that you would normally go searching for automatically. I think that's the obvious answer to how AI will develop on wireless users. But we know not everyone is evolving at the same speed at the same time. I think the younger generation is probably adopting AI better than some older generations, but we do have two different tools, I would call them, to help people get more self-educated and get more comfortable with AI and wireless devices. So the first one is simply on the settings of Galaxy flagship devices. If you go into settings and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see tips and tricks. And so Samsung has loaded tips and tricks for AI onto the devices, and there are a series of videos that basically show the end user how to use AI on the device, which I think is extremely popular, and maybe another hidden gem or best kept secret that we have. But we also have something a little bit more powerful called Try Galaxy. This is posted on our Samsung websites. So whether you're an Android user but not on Samsung, and you're with another Android OEM and you'd like to try Galaxy for AI, or perhaps you're on iOS and you're thinking of or considering a switch, Try Galaxy is an area on our website where folks can literally go in and try the applications without making the switch to the device.
This is extremely helpful to understand that building an open, dependable ecosystem ensures that AI remains a practical tool for growth rather than just a standalone trend. This was a great conversation. Thank you so much, Paul, for walking us through the future of mobile intelligence and how can SMBs make the most of this opportunity. As we wrap up, what is the one piece of advice for leaders that are considering upgrading to AI powered devices?
I think it's the same as the broader AI ecosystem, right? Get started, jump in, experiment with the tools. It's no different than you or I, playing with Gemini when it first came out, or looking through Chat GBT and exploring that. I think it's about jumping in, and as a business owner or leader, I think a simple time and motion study. What are your people doing today in the field? Where are they spending their time? It could just be an old fashioned time and motion study where you're trying to identify what non value added items are they working on that are not really deemed strategic. They're chewing up a lot of their time. And is there an AI app that Samsung Galaxy AI can offer to help speed that up, to help with employee efficiency in the field?
hmm Oh, that is a great reminder that the cost of waiting is often measured in lost productivity and security risks. But thank you so much, Paul, for joining us and for sharing such great expertise and your insights.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And listeners, that was Paul Edwards from Samsung Electronics Canada, a masterclass in agentic AI, the power of a connected ecosystem, and why hardware-backed security is a foundation of 2026 workplace. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Please be sure to subscribe and visit CanadianSME.ca for more resources. To learn more about how we are supporting the ecosystem, please visit Canadian SME Small Business Foundation at smefoundation.ca. And before we leave, a special shout out to UPS and ADP for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses across Canada. Please keep thriving, and we'll see you in the next episode.